Hey guys, welcome to another video of MaxiAspie, and today I'll be talking about autism and family. So growing up I was quite fortunate to have a supportive network of family members around me. I think the hardest time for my family was actually finding out what condition I had, what was going on in my life. And I always avoid using the word wrong because there was nothing wrong with me. It was just about trying to find out more about me and why I found it hard processing information, why I couldn't walk on the sand when we went to a beach, why I couldn't eat certain foods, why I felt really uncomfortable by the label in the back of my shirt, why I'd have meltdowns in the middle of shops. It was really important for my family to understand those things, and the most important thing for my family was to realise why I couldn't speak to the age of 6. So the diagnosis stage for any family is very, very difficult because you have to be open about what conditions it could be, what's going on, and then there's also moving forward from that and also getting the help and the support you may need later on in life. And obviously a lot of the time you can't get that help or support without an official diagnosis. So my mum, while growing up, had to see many doctors who assessed me, tried to get me to talk, tried to get me to communicate, and a lot of doctors still couldn't figure out what it was, until I had one good doctor called Dr. Samucha, who finally diagnosed me with autism and helped me get that diagnosis and get that support that I needed. From that point on though, unfortunately, I was then diagnosed with other conditions, which I think happens quite a lot of the time, because when you have one condition, a lot of the time you'll have some similar traits to the other ones. And to be fair, I think a lot of my diagnoses are probably accurate. The only one I would probably disagree with is my ADHD. I sometimes do think, did I or don't I? My mum and dad would probably argue with that and say, no, as a kid you definitely had ADHD. And some of the former teachers I had would probably say the same thing. But the reason I'm making this video is because I think it's important for any autistic individual out there, or anyone that's going through the middle of a diagnosis or has an underlying condition. It's so important that you have family around you or a supportive network around you. It builds the foundation blocks for that person to be able to go out into school life, adult life, and to be able to progress in what they're doing. It gives them a safety net, it gives them a sense of stability in their life, which I always have had. And I'm not saying it was always easier, because it wasn't. You know, sometimes at home it would be like World War III, but family was certainly something that got me through those times. And the tricky thing about family, and my mum's always said it, is often your kids grow up with you, but my mum had to grow up with me. And what she means by that was there was a lot of understanding, a lot of things that she had to learn to understand me and understand that I was able to do this and I was able to do that, and then sometimes there wasn't. And the question I get a lot from parents is, yeah, what can I do? You know, what can I say? What can I do? And I always say these 3 things, which is, you know, never beat yourself up, because you always want what's best for your child no matter what. Number 2, don't ever be afraid of tough love, you know, not in the sense of, you know, extreme circumstances, but I've had cases where it's been like, my child won't stop playing his video game, what do I do? And I know for a fact my mum and dad would have just went in, grabbed the console and went out with it. And yes, I would have had a meltdown, but at the end of the day, it was better for me to have that meltdown, not get obsessed with games and spend my life on games all my life than that. Another example is when I refused to get the bus when I first got my job, and my mum found out I was going to an acting gig, and I asked my mum to take me, and she said, no, if you want to go to the gig you have to get the bus, and it made me get the bus. And number 3, throughout my experiences, is be accommodating, be understanding, be reasonable, and try and not get them to fit the mould all the time, but sometimes you fit their mould and you shape and morph into what they need at that time. Because throughout life, a lot of autistic people are going to have to put a mask on, they have to conform to society, and if you can, in that small space of time, conform to them and help them, then it's going to make their lives a lot easier and get them to want to do more things later on in life. And so things that could have been done better, I suppose, is, in my situations, is go on to the bus with me for the first time, and then second time, okay, I'm going to get off at the stop before, or I'm going to get off 3 stops before, and build it up like that. So very, very gradually. But I feel like autism and family are very, very important, and I've always said this because there's no one that understands my condition as much as me, apart from probably my mum, my dad and my family. And that's just because they've also had to not live through it, but they've definitely had to see the effects that life has had upon me in school, in employment, in college, and probably in the future as well. So if you are a person supporting an autistic individual, just remember all the things that we spoke about today. And if you're an autistic person who is in a supportive network and a supportive family, always be open, always be truthful, always know that they are there, they love you, and they're there to support you. And I would always say as well, because there is a sad reality to this, and there is a sad reality that there are some autistic people that aren't going to have networks or supportive families, but I want them to know that you're not alone. You know, I'm making this video, and yes, I have come from a supportive background, but if there's anyone watching this video, there's a whole community out there who want to listen to you, who want to help, who want to support, and who are just like you. So if you are one of those people, leave a comment, you know, contact me personally, because I'm always here to chat and always here to help. So guys, I hope this video made sense. Again, thank you for watching as always, and guys, take care and goodbye for now.